Alright, so this is my first time playing Fire Emblem Engage. I've played Three Houses, I've played the GBA game, I've played the 3DS games. So I'm pretty much a veteran in the series. I've been playing for a lot longer than most Fire Emblem players have. So that being said, I decided to take on Maddening Classic. I like the strategy involved. You see with Vander here, I'm gonna use him to attack one of these characters. I know that in most Fire Emblem games they give you a really strong old man unit like this who usually doesn't gain a lot of experience, but I still had to try killing one person with him just to see if that was the case for him as well.
There are too many of them. Divine One, get out of here!
So it looks like this is a basic rescue mission. Those guys are not killing my allies in one hit though, so I've got a little bit of time in order to save them. If I were to replay this level, I probably would move Vander up here sooner instead of killing that first guy. That would probably get him more defensive hits in, so I could put him in this bush like I'm about to do now, but do that on the first turn, and then all these enemies will more likely attack him. I don't know because I haven't tried it, but I assume they'll attack him. The only reason they wouldn't is if they didn't see themselves doing any damage to him. So if they all would have attacked him on the first turn, then I would have had a lot more kills.
You rotten monsters, don't scare me.
Yeah, they would all be low enough for my character to do a lot of damage this turn. So the goal of this map for me is really just to get as many kills as possible onto Aliar, my main character, just to get a head start on the missions coming up. That's pretty much the strategy in a lot of these Fire Emblem games. Just get your main character some early XP and levels so he or she can carry you through the game, carry you through the first few levels. These allied characters I have, Clan and Fram, they are level 1 right now to begin with, so
I'll manage.
if you want to get them levels, you're going to need strong units in order to set up enemies in order for them to kill and get some levels. Actually, the girl, Fram, I believe her name is, she's a healer, so you don't really, it's not that big of a deal for her. You can just heal your allies and she'll gain levels passively. Clan, though, you do have to worry about getting him some experience. Yeah, so you see here, this ambush happens, and then everything resets, like my HP resets. I'm in the middle, I got my power up. So those last two enemies at the bottom, or, you know, that last enemy at the bottom and the one that was chasing Clan and Fram is just gone now. So if I were to optimize this map, I would replay that and try to get as many, or I try to get all those kills onto Aliar. So at this point, this is the first time I've ever seen the bond system. I didn't spoil myself with any information about this game when it came out, so I'm just pausing right now to look at my stats to see what these new abilities do before trying it out. So I've played a few more maps since I did this one. I didn't upload it right away. But so far, the Engage system is pretty cool. I would say, though, it seems like you probably want to use it often. I don't see why you wouldn't use it, you know, right away. Like, your first instinct is kind of to save it until the end, or save it for a strong enemy or boss or something like that. But in reality, like, you get 3 turns on it, and then... Oh, and this guy's still alive, actually. So I still have a chance to kill him. But yeah, for the Engage, you get 3 turns on it, and once those 3 turns are up, you start building meter towards using it again. So it's not that punishing to use it right away. The punishment is, you know, your downtime. So far on all the levels I've played, you can kind of just use it right in the beginning of the map, and you get a refill from one of the zones on the ground, or just by killing enemies, you know, before you need it for the boss.
Cannot afford to lose.
So yeah, if you want to make the game a little bit easier, just make sure you're using that intelligently. And by using it intelligently, I mean don't just always save it for the end. Save it for the end if it's necessary, you know, be smart with it, but don't be afraid to use it. Yeah, so this is a pretty simple, straightforward map. Like I said, your only goal really is to get as many kills as you can on your main character, LER. That's why I just have my knight character Vander sitting off to the side, not taking any XP. Yeah, you see I'm just going to move him right out of the way. This second half of the map, there's not really any strategy though. All these guys are just pouring in, dying, so not too much to say here.
Cannot afford to lose.
So yeah, I'm hitting level 2 here, but I wonder if I could have hit level 3. Alright, so since that map was so simple and short, I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze 2 maps into this video. So this is a training map to teach you about the weapon triangle and weapon engage mechanics and the new break mechanic, the weapon breaking mechanic, which actually makes the weapon triangle a lot more powerful in this game. I think the general strategy, you still want to get as many kills as possible in LAR, just because she's so low level, you want to get her pretty high before you start worrying about Clan and Fram. But it's probably not that big of a deal. You'll just, if you get a lot more kills on Clan and Fram, you'll just have a weaker LAR, which is your strongest character right now. You kind of want her to be strong.
As your steward.
So I'm just setting up this guy with Vander. Vander's really strong. He doesn't often one-hit anything, so I like to just send him in to get one chop and then finish him off with a character like Clan here. So I will say the weapon break system is pretty interesting. I like it so far.
Whatever you say.
It seems really impactful, but I think the best part about it is that it makes player phase really powerful compared to other games. My strategy in Fire Emblem games, and I think most people's strategy if you're trying to play safely and not like least turn count, is really to play really defensively. So set up like a good defense within range of your enemies so they approach you, and just basically play for the enemy phase. But the reason why that was always the case in Maddening modes before is because, you know, your units take a lot of damage when due to counterattacks. So if you attack an opponent and then you attack with a weaker character, you know, they might die, which kind of forces you to only use your good characters on your turn, and really only when the enemies have low health, like you can kill them in one hit basically. That's kind of what you're striving for. In this game, with the new break mechanic, you know, as long as I have proper positioning and I abuse the break mechanics correctly, like if there's an axe user, if I hit them with my sword guy, then all my other units can attack on my turn without counterattack. Like I don't have to worry about any counterattacks from the enemies.
Vander, you are my child's knight. You must fill that role as best you can. Attack me with all your might.
And one other thing I should mention on this early map, and basically every map from now on, anytime you have a healer, like I have Clan here, They basically gain levels passively for free. They gain experience passively for free by healing your allies. So ideally on this map, you want to take damage every turn on everybody but Fram, and then you want to be healing them every turn. That way you're just, you know, min-maxing your healer, getting them as much experience as possible. And then healers in this game, so far all the healers I've got in this game double as melee as well. They've got that art, I think it's called an art, where they use like their fist to attack. So getting extra levels on those characters is even stronger now than it was before, I think. Because they also, you know, get to do a lot of damage. They're a part of your army. And with the new break mechanic, you know, if you don't have anyone to heal, it's cool to attack with them. Like, you still don't want to leave them out of position because healers are usually very frail. But, you know, there's going to be a lot more opportunities to use these characters, I think, since they have the offensive capabilities as well.
Fate has brought us here.
As you can see, I'm just finishing off the boss, my mother, with the main character, Aliar, to get as much experience as possible. And now we go into the second phase of the fight. I skipped the cutscene, but at this point your mom gets her own bond unit, which in this case is Sigurd. He gives you a lot of movement, so later on you'll see she just comes down from all the way across the map and blasts Vander with a gigantic attack. So see, this guy is not able to counterattack me because he's broken. I did some damage with Aliar, I did some damage with Vander, and now I'm going to be able to do some damage with Clan. Or finish him off with Clan and get Clan some experience. Again, like I said, if I were to redo this mission, I'd probably give this experience to Aliar, but I'm a little bit further in the game now, and it seems like this part didn't matter that much. My characters are basically where I want them to be. So there's a little bit more flexibility in Maddening mode this time around. I remember in Fate's Conquest, it felt like everything was so tight. You had to get experience on all the right characters. So this is me using Fram to break this archer. Or I was thinking about it. She wasn't going to kill him, or I don't think she was going to do any damage. I would have to go rewatch. But you can use arts to break bows, throwing knives, and books. And that guy's using a bow, so I could have broken him. But it doesn't really matter because I don't have any range 2 characters. Oh, actually I do. I have the mage. So I could have broken the archer with Fram and then attacked him with Clan and received no penalty for that. Like, they wouldn't have been able to attack me back. So I'm just playing this really carefully because this is Maddening mode. You never know how much damage you're going to take. Especially in this one, I don't think it tells you how much damage they're going to do to you unless you like go up and try to attack them within range. Whereas in the old ones, like, you could kind of look at the opponents. Oh yeah, that's another thing. In the older games, I don't remember if it was in 3 Houses. I think it was. You can hover over your enemy and it would tell you exactly who that enemy was going to attack. You know, assuming nothing happened to change things on enemy face. In this game, it kind of just tells you not who they're going to attack, but who they could possibly attack, like who's in range of an attack. So, you know, keep that in mind. When you see those red arrows pointing at your character, it doesn't necessarily mean that the enemy is going to attack them. So, my weak characters were able to take those attacks. So, now I'm just going to clean up these enemies. After that, we'll fight our mom, the boss. She'll be approaching us at that point.
you.
I'm not even tired.
Thank you.
So this is a mock battle, and it's pretty easy so far. You'll see my mom should be coming down now.
Your teamwork is
Yeah, here's your little
inspiring.
cutscene.
Now it's time for us to make our move. Come, Sigurd.
So she does a lot of damage. If you're not prepared, it could be pretty bad. But, you know, like I said, it's not that hard. Just retry it if you don't get it right the first time, and you should be okay. So at this point, they just want you to use your rapier, which you get from Marth. Your Bond characters, like all have like, or so far all the ones I have like a little special weapon they get. And in Marth's case, it's the rapier, which is strong against horses and armored units, which you can tell by the little icons next to it. So I can use my character here to just blow up this horse. I wonder if I had to use the Lodestar Rush there. Probably not. Plus 15 Avoid, that's really good. Avoid is an interesting stat in this game, because when you only have a little bit, like plus 15, you know, it doesn't seem as strong, but once you get to like 75, 85, then it's like you never take damage.
I can still fight.
Yeah, so notice that she will not get broken here. I'm not exactly sure why. She's using a lance, I'm using an axe. Maybe they've already explained that. On Maddening mode, I noticed they skipped some of the tutorials, so even though this is my first time playing the game, there's some things I missed just because the tutorial didn't pop up for it. But so far, I'm not sure. Sometimes people don't get broken, so just pay attention in the battle forecast to whether or not your enemy is going to get broken, rather than just assuming.
This is certainly more of a challenge.
Your enemies will not hold back, and neither will I. That is why you must defeat me. What a delight it is to see you in battle after all these years.
So fortunately, she's not doing 30 damage to me like she did to Vander. And then my character is destroying these horses with her rapier. So now I think this should be the last turn, right? Yeah, Mom's pretty weak, and I've got 4 characters that can attack her, including Vander, who does quite a bit of damage. So Clan's gonna be able to finish her off with his magic. I don't want to finish her off with him, so instead I'm gonna heal myself with Fram here, and then attempt to finish her off with Aliar to give Aliar the experience. But you'll see that Aliar is not actually strong enough to finish her this turn, so that's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna attack with my character and then finish her off with Clan. The reason why I would attack with my character instead of attacking with Clan is just to get, you know, a little bit of extra experience. I believe you get the same amount of experience for battling, regardless of how much HP you do, and you get the same amount of experience for a kill regardless of how much damage you do. So if you want the maximum amount of experience spread across your team, you want to attack with everybody you can and then finish the boss or whatever character off with whoever you want to get the kill.
I'm so sorry. You've won. I'm proud to see you working together so well.
So the next map is going to be a lot more difficult than this one. These two tutorial maps. The next one is kind of a tutorial as well, but it's just a little bit tougher. So that'll be in the next video.